Okay, here we are. Unit 7, Lesson 10, Estimating Products. So we'll be rounding whole numbers to the nearest 10 or 100 and rounding decimal numbers to the nearest tenth or 100, and then using that to estimate our product and actually following through with that multiplication and double checking some of those answers and making sure we're accurate. Okay, so this is just a lesson on estimation. We'll talk a little bit about when you do safe estimation versus the others. This should kind of be review. We've done some of this before. SAB page 289 to 292. Okay, so starting off, just thinking about if we rounded 40, would we round it to 50 or to 40? If we rounded 42, sorry. We would round it to 40 because of our rounding rule, 5 and above, give it a shove, 4 and below, let it go. 762, we would round up to 800 because the 6, right? So we're looking to the 6 if we're looking at the hundreds place value. And that 6 says we got to give the 7 a bump up. So 86 hundredths. And if we're looking at whether we're rounding it to the nearest tenth, we're looking to the 6. The 6 tells the 8 to bump up, which is 9/10. It's closer to 9/10. Again, 263 thousandths, and if we're looking at whether we're bumping it up or down, we're going to look to the 3 and decide based on that 3. The 3 says let it go, so 26 hundredths. Okay, hopefully that's all making sense. 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. So I'm going to run through these really quickly. Rounding to the nearest 10, or to the nearest 10, sorry, 50. 71 goes to 70. 85 goes up to 90. And 928, rounding to the nearest 10, would be 930. Okay, rounding to the nearest 100. So now I'm looking over at this tens place value to learn what I'm going to do. So the tens place value says what's going to happen to the hundreds place value. The 3 says to the 2, let it go, lets everything behind it go, 200. The 5 says to the 4, bump up, become 500. The 9 says to the 8, bump up, become 900. The 3 says to the 5, bump up, become 400. Okay, 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. Rounding to the tenths, so we're going to look at the hundreds place. The hundredths place is the bossy one. It's going to be the one that says what happens in this relationship. What are you going to do? So the 3 says to the 7, let it go, 7/10. The 1 says to the 9, let it go, 9/10. The 5 says to the 2, bump up, 2/10. The 8 says to the 4, bump up 5/10, and you let all the rest of it go. Okay, when you're rounding, you don't write those down, other numbers down. That's been challenging for some of you. Okay, this one we're bumping to the nearest hundredth, so we're going to look at the thousandth place value. I'm underlining those. Those tell us what to do. The 2 says to the 3, let it go. Okay, the 9 says to the 0, bump up. The 9 says to the 8, bump up. And the 6 says to the, or the 5 says to the 6, bump up. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're just going to use that concept to think about estimating, and then we'll find exact answers. So first I'm going to fill in my rounding rule, right? It's like 20 because 24 is closest to 20 times 40. Okay, 20 times 40 is 800. And I'm going to go down and do the next one. 151 is like 150. 32 is like 30. So it's like 15 times 3, which is 45, and then add my double zeros back on for the others. That's kind of how I think about it. 74 hundredths is the same as 7/10 when I'm rounding, right? As I look at rounding. And 21 hundredths turns into 2/10. 2 times 7 is 14, 2 digits behind my decimal. Okay, 14 hundredths. I'm going to round this one 12 and 3/10 to just 12, and 3 and 7/10 to 4. 4 times 12 is 48. Okay, now we're actually going to check those and multiply out. Why don't you guys go ahead and pause the video if you want to and try multiplying these. If you need to keep working and watching, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so welcome back if you're coming back to me. Otherwise, thanks for sticking with it. This one we're just going to do 24 times 39, right? And when I actually multiply these out, 4 times 9 is 36. So I'm going to put my 6 down, carry my 3. 9 times 2, 18, plus 3, 21. As I move on, I'm going to put those placeholders in. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, and then I'm going to add up. So 6, 3, and 9. So 936. So a little bit off there. Probably because we rounded we rounded this 24 down. Okay, let me just give you the rest of the answers. Go ahead and pause if you want to check them out. The actual answer here is 4,832. 74 hundredths times 21 hundredths is, oops, sorry, 1 in front, 1,554 ten thousandths. 12 and 4 tenths times 3 and 7 tenths. Let's go ahead and work that one out. 12 and 3 tenths times 3 and 7 tenths. Okay, work that one out, follow through. 7 times 3 is 21. Put my 1 down, carry my 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 16. Carry my 1. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. Put my placeholder. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 2, 6, and 3 times 3 is 1. Okay, and then I'm going to add those up. Okay, I should get 1, 5, carry my 1, 9, 5, carry my 1, and 4. And then because there are 2 digits behind the decimal in the factors, there should be 2 digits behind in the product. Is there more than one way to round these numbers? Yeah, there absolutely is. You could decide how close to the estimate is to the exact answer for some of that rounding. So, you know, depending on whether you do safe rounding or not, that can change what you want to say here. But yeah, there's more than one answer. Right? The method of rounding can be close or far from the exact answer. Make sure you guys have that written down, okay? I know I didn't finish writing that all the way in. You need to make sure you've done that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on and look at the next thing. We're talking decimals here and multiplication that was done on a calculator. And so we're going to look at and see which estimation was making the most sense. What did she need to do here and what happened? Okay. Possibly you could round the factors to get a multiplication that she can do mentally. So you might do things like 25 times 4 here, right? This one you might do 1/10. Even 1/10 times 143 would work. That might help you see which ones are wrong. Okay. This one you could do a half. So which answers did she get wrong? Which answers are incorrect? Well, let's see. This one is incorrect, right? If you did some safe estimation on this, you might see that, think about that half of 30 even is 15. So you kind of know that that one is wrong. This next one down here is incorrect. And you might think of, well, 12. A fraction of 12 is not going to be more than 12, right? So hopefully you figured that one out. And this one here is wrong. And you could think about that as like 9 times 6. Well, 9 times 6 is not going to be 600. So estimation can help you guys on your thinking and thinking, well, was I anywhere near correct or was I really far off? So use that as a strategy. Let's answer Puzzled Penguin. Dear math students, yesterday I went to the store to buy 8 bottles of juice for a party. Each bottle cost $2.48, so I rounded to the nearest dollar, which is $2. My estimate for the total cost was $8 times $2, which was $16. I had $18 in my pocket. Picket, it says. It's supposed to say pocket. So I thought everything was fine. When I got to the cash register to pay, I found out that I didn't have enough money. I was very embarrassed. Is there something wrong with my math? Maybe estimation isn't very helpful when you're buying things. What do you think? Okay, well, hopefully what you're thinking right away is, come on, Puzzled Penguin, tax, you got to take into consideration tax, and you rounded down. Okay, so Puzzled Penguin, what they should have done probably, right, was round to $2.50 or so. Okay, so be thinking about the ways in which you round, whether you're using safe estimation or otherwise. Okay, so let's talk about a few of these and how we would decide whether we use safe estimation or ordinary estimation. Okay, Michelle and Stacy walked 9 9/95 of a mile every day for 14 days. How far did they walk? I would go ahead and just ordinary estimate. Right, an ordinary estimate, I would do 10 times 14, right? 10 times 14 is about 140 miles. Your job is to find the exact answer, okay, on all of these as your assignment for this evening, okay, after the video. On this next one, Mrs. Reno is planning to buy 3 bikes for her children. The bikes cost $144.78, including the tax. How much will she need to buy all 3? Remember, anytime it's money, anytime you see this dollar sign, you use safe estimation. You use safe estimation because you want to make sure you have enough money. So with safe estimation, you might go 150 times 3. Right? 150 times 3 gets you about $450 that she's going to need. Okay? You guys find out that exact answer. I want that exact answer when you come back, and you guys can discuss it with your groups. You can know that you're pretty close based on these estimates, right? Let's look at the next one. Each bag of soil in the Green Thumb Garden Center weighs 689 kilograms. There are 21 bags. What's the total weight? You can use ordinary estimation, right? And you can do 21 multiplied by 7 is what I would be looking at, okay, to figure that out. 21 times 7 is 147, so around 147 kilograms. Okay, and you need to find exact answers. So that's the end of the lesson. I want you guys to be finding your exact answers, okay? And we will talk about these in class tomorrow.